Look, see, she get focused.
All right. I can't look down at you guys. I gotta look at the.
Oh, why am I getting?
Who that? Who was that? That was you.
That's my. It's just. Yeah. That's the laugh down.
What's going on?
All right, if you have the link, share the link.
Guys, if you want to tune into the show live on Instagram, go to Facebook and Fired Up Broadcasting. I'm about to
introducing new stuff. We're trying to get people over here.
What?
Look, she looks guilty.
Go to Fired Up Broadcasting on Facebook and tune into the show.
Thank you. There we go.
Okay.
Whoever on your live there, you want to get them over here with us. We got two people in the building. All two of you.
Hold on, let me.
Should have shared this, so we should have 4. That's called multiplication. Multiply.
I don't have the notification on my thing.
I'm gonna need for you to get it together.
Oh, there we go.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
That's called multiplication.
Hey. Okay.
We got a great show for you guys. We're talking relationships. A few different points on relationships. Because it's so vast. There's so many things to discuss.
There is.
We're going into it again. And we need you because we're definitely asking your opinions and we want to hear from you. And apparently I'm reading comments because Kai making me.
I'm sharing it. I'm doing my due diligence.
I am sharing it too. Oh yeah, actually I gotta do it again.
Gotta get.
So you guys know the routine. Share this link. Nick is here. And she's here.
And she's here. And she's here.
So she is in the building. Her and the entire family.
I'm gonna go back on Instagram.
Nick, well, you here and you here. So I want to shout you out personally. Thank you for always showing us love. Nick actually, she started out with the Fired Up Thursday show, and she even comes over and watches our show and shows love. You just need people like that in your life. People that just support, just to support, just cause. Like, she has a whole family. She got time to be watching podcasts all day. So that means a lot. I appreciate that.
Amen.
For real. All right, let me share this so I can, not be a hypocrite.
Yes. Come on now.
Watch now. Kai, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good.
I don't know, man. You feeling a little abrasive right now.
I'm on. It's the hair pulled up.
Right?
When the hair's in a bun. It's like
I told it looked like you came in like you was ready to fight. Like you was ready to square up. Like, listen, I told you once.
I told you once. I told you
listen,
twice.
But now it's real. Now
we're
it's
not even
real.
on the screen. I'm over here.
All right. Yeah, we're ready. Go ahead and pop it up. Go ahead and pop it up. I think we're ready. I shared it, as you should as well. We are here. Thank you guys for joining. Kai is feeling abrasive, so we're gonna try not to fight on camera right now. Your light looks good. Look at your light. Can you see?
Okay. I had to give a little duck lips.
Oh, so we had our Fired Up Broadcasting photo shoot last night, and it went well. It was great. We had a great time. So we have a lot of new digital media coming your way, videos, photos, everything. Stay tuned for that. But you know what I thought about? Because I was telling you, as we were doing the shoot, we had music playing, and I said, Kai, I think I need a class. Because my groove feels funny. My groove feels weird. Like I didn't feel like my groove was right. And it hit me on the way home that for the last several years, every time I dance, I'm at the club and I'm drinking. And it's alcohol that's missing.
Alcohol is the fuel.
Right? And I'm that guy right now. I need alcohol. So like and it played in my head because I was like, I remember even being at the club and like, I'm gonna get one more and I'm about to hit this dance floor. Right. And I've become the dude that I don't dance sober.
You're that guy. Really?
No, I don't. I don't because I'm always at a party. Like I don't just dance around the house. Like I'm not you. Like you probably just bust out like poop, poop, poop.
You know what's funny? And are my parents watching?
So yeah, right.
Well, it's because I was gonna say a funny story about them.
You know your mom.
It's super cute. My parents. So they've been married it'll be 40 years this year.
Right.
And so recently,
goals.
Right, relationship goals. Shout out to them. They're on their fitness journey.
Right,
they are together.
Right.
Like they have they're like, they do, my dad does his little green juice in the morning.
Right.
My mom walks every morning. My dad does his little exercise. Not little. He does his exercise.
His big exercise.
Shout out to the, I'm not going to say their age, but they get their discounts, right? But what my mom shared with me, which was so cute, was that they do a little, like an hour of dancing every day.
Wow.
Together.
That's beautiful.
That's so fire.
That
I was
beautiful.
like, if that ain't gold, then I don't know what is.
Because I think you have to have that moment of intimacy. Like,
right.
You have to make it happen. Like, we're going to get into that later, but I have, experiences even in my relationship now where you have to really say, listen, stop, look at me.
Right.
Remember me, like you have
and
to
also have your moments apart,
right.
Of
like course,
my parents are retired and they live together and they're around each other every day, so thankfully I'm sure they have a big enough space to where they sometimes I'll call my mom and she's like, oh, your dad's outside doing something,
right?
And so they have their separate moments, but I thought that was really nice and really special to share.
That is amazing. That is goals.
They dance little like for an hour every day.
But what do they dance? Is it like slow salsa?
I mean, I don't know what they dance.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
They like in the cypher, like break dance. Oh, they might. If y'all meet my dad, y'all will see.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But yeah, so that's really cute.
So how's your week been? What have you been doing this week? I got a few shows that I watched. What you been doing?
Oh,
I want to talk to you about.
Man, I've been good. I've been finally settling to stuff, settling to what this new outside is looking like.
It doesn't feel different, right? It feels.
No, it does.
Does it?
Yeah.
How?
It's just a lot outside going on. There's a lot of outside going on.
I don't even notice.
There's a lot of outsiding. There's a lot of just like people are going to the clubs now, and I'm not used to staying up so late. I'm like, wait, my friends are DJing and stuff. I don't know. The salsa night is back at Sofitel. And then Cherry Papa Wednesday. Shout out to Rel and Jenna and Paris and all the homies
were you at Cherry
there.
Papa this weekend?
No, because I couldn't stay up.
No, I was thinking about going.
I wanted to go on Wednesday.
Shout out Marcus McFadden in the building. Greg, I know you here. That's DJ Greg, and they're talking about my liquid courage.
Right.
Right. But that's kind of what it is. But what I watched? I watched the This Is Pop. Have you checked that out yet? I know that there's been this thing circling right now with like a clip from T-Pain talking about Usher, said he was ruining music or something like that.
Yes.
So that was one of the shows, but I watched it. It's pretty good. The first one was about Boys II Men. And they kind of went through the Boys II Men.
Where is this? Where can you see this?
It's on Netflix. Yeah, so Netflix. And it was about Boys II Men, and it was kind of about their rise and fall. And I guess I never really put it together, but obviously we knew that NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and all of them came, and they were exactly like Boys in the Hood. I mean, Boys in the Hood. Boys II Men. And no. Wait, where's my little laugh?
Boys in the Hood.
So,
yes, NSYNC. You heard it here first, yeah. NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were exactly
like Boys in the Hood. Yeah. So no, but they were emulated after Boys II Men.
Boys II Men. And New Edition and all,
Well, yeah, all of that. But Boys II Men had that crossover sound. Like, right? They were in the white community, they were in the black community, and there was no friction. Yeah. It went well. So when NSYNC and Backstreet Boys came out, they were in kind of their native land amongst white America. And that's when you go mainstream, so to speak. Right. So it kind of took them off the charts. Because now you got NSYNC, and as a white family or a white dad, you would prefer to see a white guy on your poster as opposed, it just changed, and I never thought about that aspect of their career, and it was very interesting. So I would say watch that. The one with T-Pain was interesting. And what is the show called? This Is Pop.
Okay. I'm gonna look it up.
And so it's a lot of it's interesting. And the one with T-Pain was really good because you don't think about, but he was attacked a lot for auto-tune.
He was. I remember that. And have you ever heard him sing a cappella?
Yeah. And they did that, right? And he even said
he's not that bad, but it just some of the things sound a little.
Yeah, I thought he sounded good.
That's what he sounds like.
But that's his cadence. That's just his cadence. So I don't know. That actually kind of it made me kind of feel how real it is when we talk about celebrities and different people and like they're humans.
Oh yeah.
Right? And like he literally searched for years to find that sound.
Yeah.
And he found it. He did a lot of great things, and then he kind of got shit on, in a sense, for doing it. Like after everybody was jamming, then they were like, you know what? This is stupid. I hate you, right? Like, and that was really sad. So I don't know. It connected me with that. I would say watch it. It's really good, and you have opinions, but just remember these people are real people.
Yeah, being an artist, and I have some friends that are in the entertainment industry and are doing amazing things, and you see, like in having a conversation with them, you realize how the humanity of it, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's I guess a celebrity or whatever, and we were talking about
what's his name? Say his name. Say his name. But we know it's a he. We were talking
about this notion of being a celebrity, or like people wanting you entertain people, and you're like this bigger than human, bigger than life. Yeah. But people don't ask you like, how are you doing? Like, how are you feeling? How's your spirit doing? And we're all human.
Yeah, we are.
And you realize once you're in it, and I'm telling you this, if you don't know this, like we all are humans. There's insecurities, there's FOMO. Like now that's one of the things that I was talking to some friends of mine recently about. Now that outside is open again and the industry's back,
missing out
the jobs are back, the industry parties are back. So if you're invited to the party, boom. If you're not invited to the party, you see on Instagram, you're like, oh man, they didn't invite me. They probably think I'm whack. I'm corny. Like all this stuff. And it doesn't matter who you are. Like everyone feels it.
Right. And
everyone feels it.
But like, if you get into the industry, I think you should have an idea that you're going to lose a little bit of privacy. You're going to be judged by people that don't know you. And it doesn't make it easier. Yeah. But I just think that's something you should understand. I don't think a lot of people get that.
Yeah, and you know what? And you make mistakes. Like this actually reminds me of an example. So I think yesterday I saw it on a friend of mine's Instagram stories. He posted a video of this white woman saying something about the vaccines, how it was not FDA approved, right? And we've talked about the vaccine here and there. I don't agree or disagree with it. I just kind of, and then on my stories, I'll post things and have conversations with my friends about stuff. So I posted this video. It didn't say who the lady was. And the friend that I got it from is a black man, right? And that's relevant because I got messaged by like 3 people that were like, do you not know who this monster is? Right. And I was like, yo, no, I don't know who she is. Who is this person? Some lady named Marjorie something, some racist white, like
I don't know it yet.
You don't know, some lady who's like in politics and is racist. I guess I looked kind of on her page and stuff, and I was just like, but it was a simple mistake of like I didn't know who this lady was. It didn't say her name on the thing.
And how did you react? What did you do?
At first, I felt a little attacked because they were like literally like, "Do you not know who this monster is?"
Bitch.
It was literally like, and then it was like, "Do you agree with her views?" I was like, "Whoa, no, chill!" Like she's not even saying nothing racist. Like if you know me, you know where I stand. But she just made a statement about the vaccine, and that's literally what the little video.
And it's crazy that people don't like. We're humans, right? Like, so, they have this cancel culture now. Like, you did something in high school. And it's like, I don't think I'm against cancel culture so much, but I'm just saying if someone did something in the past and it's like, let's try to make it personal myself. Someone dressed black-faced and, they did something very racist and now it's different, right? I am going to take into account that at some point in your life, you thought this was okay, right? Yes. But I'm also going to hopefully assume that you are apologizing for a reason and you understand the error in your ways.
Yes.
And okay. Maybe,
I would try to stay away from racism because that's just such a hard line for a lot of people, including myself.
That's why I went there because I wanted to be like even that. I feel like you can be ignorant. I've said a lot of things ignorant as a young man.
Yes.
And I just you don't know. You're just cracking jokes with everybody. You're just pointing fingers. Ha ha. And but you don't realize as an adult, like, whoa, that was
what you were really saying.
Yeah, that was bad.
I had a friend in college. He used to call me Goya.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Is that bad?
That's a name brand for Latin foods.
Does that mean you're delicious? Or what?
I mean, no,
it's like a compliment.
He was a black man, and I accepted it. I was like, yeah, and I would be. And
at the time, he was flirting with you, Kai.
No, we were friends, and we're still friends now. Yeah. We're still friends.
That means you're delicious.
No.
That's how I would take it.
But nowadays, someone might get offended by that. Yeah, I was not offended.
If you say that to somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have, but you have pet names for each other.
Right. And you may not realize that it's
and you realize,
wrong. Okay.
you just might like I said, nowadays you can't just turn to a person and call them Goya.
Goya.
You know what I mean?
I'll call you Goya. That's the new laugh right there.
But yeah, so to go, all that to say, even like a little mistake like that, or like a mistake about posting that lady yesterday I posted on my story.
Right.
If I was like a celebrity, I would have been on the Shade Room or something with like, yo, she supports, she posted this lady, she's racist. I'm like,
and that's why
you know what I mean?
That's
so
why I think
crazy.
we should have a little bit of a forgiveness for like if you could just say I didn't mean it, I didn't know, or you learned from it.
That's why I said to my friend, I was like, yo, I'll look her up. Thank you for the knowledge.
Right. And I
don't agree with her, but in this moment, this little video, that's what I posted.
Right, that's right. But if someone gives you that, I think you should give them an opportunity to just apologize, because we all can be ignorant to certain things. Anyway, so relationships. Let's get this started. So I'm gonna play.
To stall. Y'all notice we were trying to stall?
No, we're not trying to stall. No. I want to play my first soundbite from Jill Scott that I love. But the question is,
this soundbite.
But the
this
question
should be the intro to our show.
But the question is there a right or a wrong time to get into a relationship? All right, that's what we're asking you. So put that in the comments. Is there a right or wrong time to get into a relationship? You know how people say, after your career, before your career, right? Is there a right or wrong time? I feel like, I don't know. I want to hear from you guys, but I'm gonna play this sound.
I'll make this quote. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'll say the quote after.
Yeah,
I say it like this: if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
Bam! Let that sit for a while.
Nick over there.
You got to roll the neck.
Lip syncing that.
You got to roll the neck. All right,
that's a good one.
Yeah, that is like we'll talk about that one later. But
yes,
that's sustaining a relationship. But go ahead. What's the quote?
So this quote says, "Every person who is not ready, quote unquote, will get ready if you're who they really want." End of discussion.
Boo.
Now, you hear this a lot. You see this a lot all over social media. You see people saying this, like, when you know, or even if you're not ready, you'll get ready, or whatever. I think this is said a lot to women about men. When a man is ready, he'll find his wife, right? I don't know.
I don't think so. I'm still waiting to hear. I want to hear from Nick. Nick is in the building and she's absent right now. I don't know why I haven't seen a yes or a no on her little name pop up on here. But is there a right or wrong time to get into a relationship? We want to hear. I'm gonna go with no, because I'm one of those.
If you get ready, will you get ready?
No. I have an ex-girlfriend that was great. I just wasn't ready to be in a relationship, and no matter what she did, no matter how she treated me, I wasn't ready. Okay. Right? I still wanted.
But it had nothing to do with her. Like, she wasn't the one,
it had some things to do with her, but like not like.
But more to do with you.
More to do with me. But it was at a time where it was still like, if someone saw you holding hands with your girl, they'd be like, "Oh, that's your girl." And it's like, "No, man, I'm single. I'm a pimp out here." Like, it wasn't. You weren't comfortable even saying you had a girlfriend, and it was also, I wanted to remain looking single in case someone else popped up, right?
Right.
And but that was just a time in my life. Like, even if because I still talk to her. Like, there's even a part of me that was like, I recognized that she was a great girl.
Anna's watching.
Right? Anna knows. Like, I tell Anna everything. No, you're right. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. But the girl I'm talking about died, so it's cool.
No, anyway, my God.
No. I'm trying to do the Anna thing. You told me to watch out for Anna. She was a great girl. I wasn't ready, and no matter what she did, I wouldn't have been ready. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think no to your comment or your quote.
The quote. Those are not my views.
Not your views.
They do not reflect my
Nick wrote
views.
A book. We'll read that in a minute.
I love it. I love when you say see more. Boop.
Right. And but to the question, I still say no. Because I feel like even if it's not a forever relationship, I think you have to be in a relationship to learn or to understand this may not be the right time, or you have to have something to go off of. Right?
Right. So do you... Okay.
What do you think? Let me see what Nick
Let's see what Nick said.
Yeah.
You want to read it?
She said, you're never ready. Ooh. Some folks can date and think it's great. And then, boom,
month later. I should have read it. I'm going to reread it. Hold on.
Right?
So Nick said...
It's that one mo. Like, what?
1 month.
Yeah.
Learn your text ad-libs.
Yeah, well, okay. I don't text.
It says, you're never ready. Some folks can date and think it's great. And then boom.
I hope you mess up.
Like my theatrical reading.
I hope you mess up.
And then boom. 1 month later.
You're going to mess up.
I see your true
colors shining through. I see your true colors. All right. Listen, it's over. It's over. It's over.
My bad. I didn't know any more words. That was it.
But yeah, so a no. Yeah. What do you think?
Man, I would have to say.
Can y'all not grub so loudly in the background of the show?
Don't mind him. He just don't like anyone to think. Like, please don't think too loud.
Yeah.
It's disturbing JD and his Red Bull.
Yes.
Don't sip too loud, JD. He over here sipping while I'm talking. You know what I mean? Then he over here.
Finish your damn statement.
I think. I don't know if you. I
Stalling.
think, no. Because I don't know if you're. I feel like in my experience, when I wasn't ready, emotionally available to be in a relationship, I attracted people who are also not No, I attracted all types of people.
Right.
But it was like, no, I'm not ready for a relationship.
Right.
And I think as of maybe this year, in my mind or in my energy, in my whatever, I've become more emotionally available. I feel like I'm ready to show up to a relationship as a woman, as a partner, as a wife, as a mother. Like I'm in a space in my life where I'm ready to kind of take on that role. And so I think it's become very clear when in my dating phase that that's what I want.
Right.
So when guys don't want that, it's easy to like, oh, okay, then let's just be friends.
Yes or a no? Is there right or wrong?
I don't know. Is there? I think when you're ready. I think when you're ready as a person, you'll attract that person, but it might take a while.
So no. It's a yes or no question. Is there a right or wrong time to start a relationship? Pressure's on.
Was that the question?
Yes, that was. Do you want to read? Do you want to go to a new statement?
Is there a right or wrong time?
Yeah, to start a relationship. Like I if I had to assume based on what you just said, I would say you would say yes. There
is a right time.
Yes, because you weren't ready at a certain point.
For me, though.
No.
But then you have to meet the person. Like, right. I'm ready, but I mean, that don't mean the next guy that shows up, he's going to be the one.
If you would have met the one, would you have changed?
No.
Okay. So what do you think? What do you think that makes your answer?
Whatever you say. He's confusing me, y'all. This happens when you drink
Just see the look on her face.
I'm like, wait, what? What's that video you took of me of what is Kai thinking?
Yeah, what is Kai thinking? I didn't know you saw that. Like,
I did. I want to
but it was fine. I may change the song. But anyway, but I think from what you're saying is like you just weren't ready, right? So it wasn't the right time.
When you're not ready, yes. But I think where it gets confusing for me is just because I'm ready doesn't mean that the next guy I meet I'm going to jump into. But that's not what we're talking about.
We're talking about you. Like even from your quote, it said, the right man will act right for the right woman. Just paraphrasing.
I hate that.
Basically, right? So and then that's why I'm. But no,
so with that, I don't feel the quote is accurate,
right?
Because I feel like you have to be ready for yourself to show up either as a man or as a woman into a relationship. Like you have to want that,
right? You
know what I mean? And you could be like what you said. You could be wanting to do your thing and be single, and you could be a great guy. And you can eventually be a good father and a good husband, but right now you're in your little hoe phase, right? Yeah. So that could be what you want. So a woman can come by and, I was my first like serious relationship in college. My boyfriend at the time, he said that to me. He's like, "You're the girl that everyone wants me to marry," right? And he was like, and I was that like good girl,
right,
for him, but he wasn't ready,
right.
But he was trying to make himself ready.
Yeah, and that's the wrong. And even the ex that I was talking about, that's where I was. Like
you was just I tried, hot toddy out here.
I tried to make it work, and like she was studying law, so like she would literally convince me, like
right.
but she would like and like
debate you.
Yeah, so we would be arguing. I'd be like, no, I'm not. And by the end of it, I'm like, I guess we could try it again. Like let's just try it. Like, but I would literally tell her I'm not ready. And like I would literally tell her, I it's something that's not right, and like and she would convince me, no, just let's give it a chance. And then this is what I learned this one. She actually, I did this too for a few months, maybe even a year. She said, "Don't move on until I move on because I'm not ready to see you with somebody else."
Oh, the old "don't move on till I move on" trick.
And I waited. I didn't wait, but I told her I waited. I pretended I waited.
Yo, guys,
I'll be in these streets.
Y'all.
I'll be in these
guys,
streets.
Ladies.
But that, no, listen, don't believe that. Listen,
he's gonna be out here telling you.
Zoom in on me.
No.
We ain't got no Zoom. I'm gonna zoom in later. Listen, you can't put somebody in that position. I wasn't in the place where I was man enough to say, "Fuck you, I'm not doing that."
Right.
But I was trying to make her happy, right? And I was telling her I don't want this or I can't, and so it was like I didn't want her to.
I feel like we're skipping ahead, but. How soon after you break up with somebody do you move on?
The next day, if you can. That's your business. But I would, you know what I mean? It is.
It is. It really is.
When I was leaving my last relationship, which was 9 years, right? 9 years of the last relationship,
damn.
I had to literally before I said the words, "I want to break up." This is gonna be hard, Mama. If you're watching, cover your ears. I had to literally think about somebody just having sex with her throat, just like I had to imagine it. I had to imagine it because I knew once I leave, it's possible. So I had to make sure. I had to make sure that I was ready for that. And if I wasn't, then I was gonna work it out or try to So I had to tell myself, listen, as soon as you leave, you are opening the door for somebody to come in and
oh my God.
And you have
they're trying to eat over there. You over here making these.
They know they about to leave because they're like, oh, matter of fact, it's been a couple of weeks. Junior looking a little tired over there. Hey, Phil, can we use this room over here? Just play your game, baby.
Right.
Play your game.
He know it's muted. He know he's listening. You know when you're a kid, you act like you.
So, but the point is, yes, I think you need to be ready that they will move on the next day because some people are vengeful. Yes. Some people are like, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna put my red dress on, like I'm out.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's a fact. The day my first relationship we broke up, I was in the clubs. I was in the streets. I was back in the streets. I was 21. Are you kidding me? Fresh out of college.
Right. So listen, I it's still a few of you I didn't hear from, but we're gonna move on to the next portion of this, which is how do you make it last? Right. I'm just going to double down on this. I don't think there is a right time to get into a relationship because I think every relationship serves a part in you growing. And if you kind of wait to the right time, you have to understand how to be in a relationship. Right. You have to understand how it works.
Did we decide when are we getting into the relationship?
I don't think there's not I say that there's
do you do, because
I'm basing
I'm gonna take it back for a
second.
Would you do I think, what was it, Steve Harvey in that book, Think Like a Man, he said, you wait 90 days before you sleep with them. And you... Dang, Nick gave it a look like, nah.
No, listen, this is
Steve Harvey's played out.
This is not 79. In 79, that worked, right?
Well, you know what?
What? Kai does it though, just to let you know. Before you get in the DM, just know 90 days. Let that sink in. 90 days.
Well, you know what? It's funny that there's a guy in my life who's a really good friend of mine, and 90
days good. Or it's what we think?
No, he's almost a year good.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he just hanging.
Well, you know what? I feel like
what do you do? What are you sprinkling their drinks
No,
we need
but
to call the proper authorities around.
I think it's and this is my assumption as a woman, so you can clarify this for me. Because it's not just him; it's other guys that I've met and other guys that my friends have met. I feel like the men that have seen or viewed me in this light of she's someone you would marry or a serious relationship type of woman or whatever. She's not just someone you could just take down. They tend to not want to do that.
I'm gonna go with wrong on that one.
Not to say that they're not doing it with other women though.
Right.
I'm not trying to say that they're just sitting home and reading the Bible. I'm saying that with me, there's been men that's no. No,
we're gonna go with no on that. Listen, but how are they not in the friend zone? How can somebody be around that long and not? and still be around? Like, what do y'all like? Y'all just make out, watch movies? What happens? Like,
you actually get to know the person.
I'm gonna go with no.
You spend time with the person, get to know the person.
That is a friendship.
Yes,
like, listen,
yes,
like, that's
it's a friendship.
Listen, little homies, wherever y'all at, listen. You are in a friendship. This is not a relationship. If she does not want you in that way, that is a. Well, okay. Actually, I got a question for you.
I'm not saying it's a relationship either.
Well, this is my question for you. Why do you wait that long? Like, say for the guy that's waiting 90 days. Mm-hmm. Why isn't it important to have that? Like, don't you want them as well?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not saying I do the whole 90 days or anything like that.
Right.
I think it's just a case by case.
You just said that. I'm sorry. You actually just said there's somebody waiting a year right now. You're like, after a year, we need some pity vagina. Like just a little bit of like. No. Listen, just put the head in 2 minutes and we can leave. Like,
just a tip.
Just a tip. Okay, that's it. Stop. Listen, year dude, if you out there, please, bro, like just stop or be aggressive. Like just be firm, man. Just look her in her eye, be firm, grab the roots of her hair, just show a little control and do the whisper voice. You go, goddamn it.
But you know what? What I've learned in that time is that getting to know someone and like really just in general and those types of experiences that I've had have also been like the dopest friendships that I've had. And not to say that I see. Yes, but not to say that I see this particular person or that, as like I'm not attracted to them.
Right.
But I feel like when I have moved too fast with a guy before we're like in an official relationship type thing, is just kind of gone awry.
Why?
I don't know. That's maybe you guys shed light on.
Well, because
y'all can shed light over there.
I feel
your mic on.
Like, do y'all end up kind of getting into arguments or like?
No, I'm mad chill.
Right, but I feel like you're mad sensitive, like, and I feel like if you know the wrong joke or the wrong attempt could like cut it off for you.
No, honestly, I think it's something. I think men like the chase, and
I'm gonna go with no.
They do not. Yes, they do.
No, you don't like to chase that much.
Something changes when a man gets that.
No.
If it's not within a relationship. If y'all are not in a relationship, something changes. Okay,
I'm going to tell you what changes, and usually it's you, right? Like you as a person, like you after sex.
Both people.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, and there's expectations now. Right. There's soul ties.
It's not so much It's just more of it's people don't know how to keep things new, right? And like you kind of once you give everything, once you get everything, it just kind of like you get bored.
My mom says, "Well, why would someone buy the milk if you give them the cow?" Because
why not get the cow and the milk? Like,
but you're giving them the source.
Yes.
So why would they buy the milk? You know what I mean? So it's like
And one day you're gonna give them the milk. So
no, you give them the milk so they keep coming back. And then, but they, you always just hold on.
Listen, I don't know where you just went with that, but I'm gonna go with no on that one as well.
Yo, I need sound effects too, because you can't be buzzing me, yo. You can't be buzzing me like
I'm gonna go with no on that as well.
I'm from New York. Like, listen, I've been nice.
This is a one-player game here.
What button is it?
I know, right? I'm gonna move it over here. I'm gonna move it back to this one.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so like
Nick said, communication is number one. So now we're in the relationship.
In the relationship, I'm gonna pick a sound bite here from our favorite guy, Kevin Samuel, who I'm gonna throw something out there. I feel like he's gay and he just hates women. I don't know. What do you do? We feel that, like, or is it just me? Now this is just my ignorant observations. So my apologies if anybody's offended, but I just feel like he's just.
First of all, he's in Atlanta, and if there's anything about Atlanta that we know,
I'm gonna go with I'm not involved in that Atlanta statement because
down low.
That's all Kai.
It's not even a statement I make. That's people have told me that.
You said it though.
There's a huge.
Let's just move to the clip. I'm gonna go with the I'm
gay community down there. What don't try to play me like I made that up.
You're right. I'm teasing. I'm gonna move on though. This clip, I don't know. I have a few. I have 4. So we're going to hear the clip and we're going to discuss it. All right. And obviously we're in the part where it's like, how do we make things last? And I feel like a lot of these conversations are important in that situation. Let's see. I'm going to guess.
Where's the crickets button?
I don't aim lower. I'm not going to aim lower. I'm just going to stop being such a nice person.
But the fact that there's here's some realities. Women control access to sex and determine whether or not a life is brought into the world. Men control access to relationships and marriage.
Oh.
So you can aim whatever you want to, but unfortunately, men across the board, low value to high, control access to relationship. That's what we control. So this is what I was saying earlier. Ladies, across the board, you can have your standards, your point of view, but when it comes right down to it, the way you guys were talking is if you had leverage over the kind of men that was in the discussion. You don't. Those men have leverage over the women. You're not competing. You're competing with the women around him. Everything that you ladies are saying, I won't tolerate this, such and so forth. There are plenty of other women to be like, shit, okay, fine. What else? Is that it? No problem.
Right. So on that, I just like the main point is women control sex and intimacy.
Access to life, yeah.
Right. And men control relationships and marriage.
Right.
Right. And I think that's important to point out because you have to understand where your power is. Right. A lot of people like it sometimes it turns into men just chasing women. And, you know, and women get into this point where they're just like, I'll give him a little bit and let him have it. And that's all they think that they can do. And it's like, no, you actually have a part in this relationship. And what do you bring to a man?
Right.
What do you bring into this relationship? And I think a lot of that plays in kind of making it work. Because once a man gets you, you know, if your highest value is just, you know, the V, then that's when you kind of get into the point that you were talking about of like, you know, it changes.
Right.
Because then it's like, okay, now what else you got?
Mm-hmm.
What else? Let's keep it coming. What else you got?
Yeah.
And if you don't have nothing, it's like...
Yeah, and honestly, and going to that point, I feel like if you haven't taken the time out to establish an intimacy greater than something sexual, once you get that, it's like both people are going to be like, well, what else is there to this connection? You know, and like sex has a way of getting in the way of truly getting to know each other and truly getting to see if you're compatible or not, you know, whether it's the men sexually wanting the women or vice versa, you know, what is it? Whipped, you know, you're Shout out to Greg Walks. He said, Greg Watts?
That's Greg right here. That's Greg.
Oh.
That's Greg.
Oh, yeah.
DJ
no.
Greg.
Oh, DJ Greg.
Yeah, DJ
is it
Greg.
Watts? Watts, okay. He says, at times it makes a great story, but life may pass you by. It's like gambling. Capital T. You win some. And you lose some.
See, you gotta always read the comments. You gotta read the comments.
I know.
I get nervous and I suck.
Cannons to the left of them.
Your mom and them.
Cannons to the. You remember that from Fresh Prince?
Yeah, no, I remember it from Little Rascals.
Lightning.
Actually,
no, that was when what's his name?
Little Rascals predates
no,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That was when the episode when what's his name? The butler.
Mm-hmm.
He was the.
I just forgot.
He became the poet.
Yeah.
And he was like, cannons to the left. All right, never mind. Anyways, moving on.
We're gonna go no on that one.
Yo, get out of here. First of all, the fact that you don't know Fresh Prince is just beyond me.
I know it, but you went over my head on that one.
Yes, taking the time out to get to know each other, build that intimacy because, and I will say that I do agree with this guy, even though I think he's
we know
he's just
we
a
know
character.
What you think. Atlanta, close your ears, Atlanta.
But and shout out to, have you seen Afion Crockett's
rendition of
imitation
him?
of
it's
him?
On point.
He's Dr. Devin Samuels.
It is on point.
It's great.
But I do want to hear from you guys. All right, how do you make a relationship last? Your parents are here. We just talked about them. We know that they dance together. They set aside time to dance together. So shout that out. Let me do a good but what do you do? What do you guys do? Nick, how do y'all keep things happy over there? You got the whole family sitting over here quiet. My son would be all over the place right now.
So, he got it on lock.
Right? I was like, he'll be like, sit down, stop it, put it. I mean, he is 9 months, so that's different. But what do you do?
She did say communication, though. I want to acknowledge she did say communication. My parents would say communication. Greg just said communicating. DJ Greg just said communicating.
You.
Me, I agree with communication.
What's your longest? You've been like married twice, like engaged twice. Engaged twice. What are some things that you think to you would help make a relationship last? I
think. Well, I'll say what I think, and then I actually have some nice relationship boundaries.
I know. Let's go.
Let's go with those.
But
I'll go. But real quick, what I'll say in my personal experience, what I found is just makes everything easy because and when I was first having relationships, I thought that arguing was normal. I thought that you fight and then you make up, and that's just what happens. But I realized after a while in those relationships that built resentment, and we didn't get to the root of the problem, and then there was disrespect. And then there was just like, you just lose that love for the person eventually, right?
You get lost in the bullshit.
You get lost in it. And then you just, it's all about, how I feel.
So when y'all would argue, did y'all not get to a conclusion? Or would y'all just kind of
sometimes, and then sometimes it would come back up, and then the next time be like, I remember that one time where you did, not forgiving.
It never goes away if you're not heard, and that's a part of communication, is just making sure that your partner is being heard,
and also as a person, as a recipient, being able to let go of what those, if you're hurt, you talk about it, the person apologizes, accept that, or if you really don't accept it, then leave, and making a decision. If I'm going to stay, I'm going to continue, but yes, communicating effectively, not raising your voice.
Oh, no.
Maintaining respect for your partner.
I'm dating a Latin woman with your sign. I have to raise my voice a little bit because no soft shit in my house.
Right, that's true. I mean, in a nice way, You
gotta get it.
So I have some relationship boundaries.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see what it says. Oh, okay. It says, do you want to say what she said?
You read it so much better.
Okay, I will. Well, DJ Greg says, men. Oh, I just snorted.
Look, we literally have a live studio audience.
I know, it's great. It's great. Men have to be willing to give at times, not looking to win every battle. And that is said from a man who is sitting right next to his wife.
I'm going to go with no. No, I'm kidding. No, he's right. I'm teasing him.
He's right. Yes. And
choose your battles.
And I believe women as well. We all have to kind of be like, do I really want to bring this up right now? Okay, maybe I'll just hold on a little bit.
Your mom said respect is the most important thing.
Yes. I feel that.
Right.
And I feel that. And I feel like if I don't respect you, everything else crumbles from that. Even in friendships.
But I think all of that falls under communication. Like I would even take it as far as.
But if you don't respect the person, you're not going to communicate. Like if I don't care what you think, like I'm not going to respect. I'm not going to communicate in a way that's respectful.
Right.
So it's like I think that even before you get into a relationship, that's why getting to know the person is very important. And even like I was telling you, this guy that I've been getting to know for like a long time,
a year,
whatever. I think what has happened in that time is that you get to see, does this, for me, I'm very big on like, do you do what you say?
Right.
Are you on time? Do you have integrity? Are you like a loyal person? Are you consistent? And that length of time allows you to see that.
Right.
Whereas there's people that I've dated that were great for the first 2 months. They were all super on point. And then by month 3, after we started maybe being intimate, they were just all of a sudden they fall off. All of a sudden I'm busy.
Do you think sex plays a part in it? I don't think it does. Do you think?
I'm not even saying it. There's a closeness in that intimacy.
Right.
That is a level of which you're taking. Yeah. And for some people that may not be that deep.
Yeah.
Some people you have one night stand and that ends up being your wife or your husband.
So I guess like, we always kind of tease about how I love everybody from the gate, but maybe it's me, but like I feel like that intimacy is not that far. Like you can have those conversations in a month, right? And you can see someone's character.
You can talk about it, but can you see it?
And only time will tell. So, obviously everybody's going to play the great role at the beginning.
Right. We all are on our best behavior.
We all on our best behavior. And sometimes it's not even us trying to be evil. It's just you get comfortable. You stop doing all the important things. Right. And you start taking things for granted. I want that, though. Right. Your relationship won't last if you don't have that. So you have to find someone that can do that.
If you have someone that like falls off, like if you're constantly falling off, it's like, I've had friends over 20 years. And so, you have like your lifelong friends.
Right.
You guys, there's new things that you have a rhythm. And there's like you reinvent the friendship as time goes by, and I think any relationship is probably like
exactly. And that I still think that's all in in communication. Communication is a deep piece, right? And it's a big piece.
Yeah.
What about sex? Because we keep talking about like waiting, and we keep talking about in relationships, and I'm.
Oh, is that like a have to? in a relationship.
In a relationship, like I think it
that might be a
plays
question
part.
for a
Like,
nickname
over there. And
she said, acknowledge your wrongs and learn how to apologize. First of all, yes,
that's accountability.
That's accountability. That's big.
Definitely, accountability is a huge one because even in those arguments, you have to be able to. Your phone died. Whack.
Now I can't see the comments.
I know you can read mine since you read them so well. But I think accountability is huge because even in those arguments, you have to be accountable for if you were wrong or if you didn't even realize you were wrong or just. And I think like especially when you're married, if you're married or engaged, like there should be no fear in the relationship, like no fear of judgment, no fear of like misunderstand, like just be
y'all can
real.
Talk about that more than me,
right?
So go ahead,
and it's just being real in the sense of like I didn't realize I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry. And you build on that. Or like, okay, acknowledging that I may have came in a little hot. I probably should have, phrased that different. I'm sorry. Like, and I think it's just holding that accountability. Yeah. And when you have somebody that doesn't do that, that's what builds resentment because you never forget it.
Right.
And it stays there because like, you still ain't really, I know you said you were sorry, but I know you weren't saying sorry. Like, and then you start this resentment. And, but I guess back to the main point is like that sex piece in a relationship plays a part. Like in any relationship you've been in, do you guys have sex as much as you did at the beginning towards the end? And did that play a part? I see the evil smirk.
That's why y'all broke up. This is weird. That question is weird. Yeah, but honestly, that's never been something that's been an issue.
It's been a problem for you. Listen, so
well, because again,
what is your longest relationship?
5 years.
Okay.
But I think it's I don't know. I just like I said, I saw
like
my parents. My parents are very affectionate, are very loving. Like I said, they've been married for 40 years. They've never, they've always displayed that. And the Latin community, we're just very affectionate people. Right. So I've always had that. And for me, I was taught that that's reserved for your partner. Right. So while I'm not like that,
you just be letting it go on the boyfriend. I waited a year for this. I waited a year for this.
If you've gotten that spot, it's like you're a woman in the streets. Yeah, and a freak.
Well, I guess the only point that I'm getting to,
and if they earn it, hey, that's part of the relationship. That's the fun part about being in a relationship. I think it's like if you have your person. Wow.
That's okay. Apparently, she holds it in. So if you the next one, listen, get you some Viagra, get you something, be ready, because she got like 4 or 5 years built up over here that you about to get it. Hey, look,
hey, baby, we've done this before. Remember, the first
hey, baby, zoom in. Like everybody gonna be on their P's and Q's now.
Slide in the DMs.
They trying to get that year reservation. But anyway, I guess the point
is sex important though? What do you guys think?
The point that I wanted to get to is because I think it is extremely important. And but just because like,
is it a have to? Do you feel like
it is a have to?
It's an entitlement. It comes with the territory.
And it's just like your parents. You have to have that moment of intimacy, right? And so like just being, I use my relationship as an example, right? We've never had problems. But, as you get kids and as you start working, sometimes it's not anybody's fault. It's just like, sometimes she's in the mood and I'm not. Then sometimes I'm in the mood, she's not. And you start missing each other. Right?
Get out of here.
Look, don't make me a hoe. I've been a hoe, but it always has been about intimacy and passion. Like I've never just met somebody and I'm like, I just want to have sex. Like,
well, no, we're talking about in a relationship. So actually, there's a question I have for you guys. And we have our other couple here in the room today.
Wait,
as well.
Let me finish the point. The point.
Go ahead.
But the point it's not always someone's fault. And if you've been in a relationship long enough and it's not Kai, then you run into these pitfalls where you sometimes are like, damn, it's been like 2 weeks. It's been like a week, and you don't even really know.
Damn.
And I think just like your parents, as an example, like you have to make that time for intimacy, and you have to remind yourself, like, all right, listen, even though I may not be exactly in the mood now, we're gonna have to start a little awkwardly and just kind of you sometimes you may have to do that.
Have you ever felt forced?
Kind of.
To be intimate?
Kind of, because it's like you got to do what you got to do.
Okay, take down pants slowly.
Fine.
That's so funny.
I'll put my work down. But it's just like, but that's a part of being in a relationship, and that's a real part that most people don't talk about. Is that it's not anyone's fault. It's not that, oh, you're not sexy. You're not like, you just get locked in. Like, I'm your parent. You're walking around in your little wife beater. You don't feel sexy. And like, it's important that you have to do that. Like, you have to physically make yourself do it.
Yes.
And I don't know, Nick, what do y'all think? How, like, does that, y'all agree with that in some sense? Like, because you just get
Do you make time? Like, do you schedule it? I've heard that. Like, people schedule, like, date time.
Sometimes especially when you have kids. To. Like, if you have to, you have to.
Is that a thing? Okay.
But you can't just leave the excuse of, like, hey, we're not having time together. Like, if you're having that problem, you have to, like, physically, okay, we need to make some time. Right. Like, or if we both are kind of like, all right, I'm kind of horny, you kind of horny, but we keep missing each other. It's like, listen, we need to cut off the lights and just stare at each other until it happens. Like something like, what? Like let's thumb wrestle or something until something sparks. Like we got to do something because both of you know, like, but it's timing, and you end up and I feel like that starts to cause little bickering and little one-ing up each other. You know, and that starts going back to the communication piece, and then it builds resentment, and it's like you really just have to be aware, and be safe enough to just say, listen, something.
Well, I'm taking notes,
we need to do something, like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's a good point because
that wasn't me.
That wasn't me.
No, popping.
While I said we popped.
Yeah. So, but in all of your relationships,
well, I would say that I also haven't experienced something where I don't have any children, and I know that changes the dynamic as well. And I haven't experienced those types of things. And I would say my relationships have been. I was younger, it was different, so I haven't quite had that issue and that experience. But I can see how, like, if you're going through a life change or a family trauma, or you're going through, there's been times where I've been financially stressed. Like when you're stressed out, you're not necessarily in the mood. Yeah.
And then sometimes people just become your life partner. And then it's not always in a sexual light. Right. And sometimes you because I still look at my fiance and like every time she walks by, I'm like, hey, sexy. Or like, I flirt with her. I'll hit her on the butt. Like we still don't you dare throw up at my. Anyway, but so, but we still kind of flirt and there's still a sexual attraction there, but it's literally sometimes you miss each other. We got to remind like, hey, excuse me.
Well, how do kids play a role? Well, and there's a general question for everyone here. Like, how do kids play a role in having that intimacy with your partner? Because when you're not there, they're always there. Like, if I've been in a relationship, you can walk around naked in the house, and it's just y'all two, and y'all just like walking around.
It's just a different. It's just a different. They bring a different energy, and it's like when you're with your kid, it's like. Like, and that's not sexy. Like, it's just not sexy.
Throw up and poop everywhere,
right? And it's like it's so time, and sometimes you're tired. Like, it's like it's just. Life just starts to play a part. And I think that's why anybody who's been married for a while or in a long relationship, you start to deal with these things and you realize that it's just human nature. Right. Sometimes you may get lucky if you have somebody that it just works. Mm-hmm. That's great. But most people are going to have to kind of work at it. And that's any relationship you're going to have to work at because you're going to get comfortable. You're going to get, it's like nothing is going to last great forever. Right. It may last, for several years, but you're gonna hit a point where it's like, all right, let's do something different. Like, like it's just like and that's just real life.
I guess that's the cool part too. I guess if you have a partner that you're solid, you guys are in it for the long haul together, and to be able to kind of reinvent yourself.
And that's why the friendship piece is important. That's why the friendship piece. And your favorite, getting to know someone.
That's my favorite.
Because I know it is. Because sometimes like they may not even be able to tell you what's wrong. But you can maybe see it, right? And like with my fiance especially, I can't say it because then it's a fight. But like you hope that they get it. Like, you want to try to hint like sometimes you used to maybe doing that like Greg, I'm asking you because you're here. Have you ever had to tell Nick something and you knew she wasn't gonna like to hear it? It's gonna be a fight, but you got to tell her. How do you handle that? Like, just would because I be trying to tiptoe like I can't say it directly. He over there
thinking, contemplating, how am I about to say this?
Nick looking at him like this,
burning a hole through the side of his
this
head.
Close in his face. Say it. I dare you to say it. Just be straight with it. Yeah. So you got to take the fight. You got to take the fight. I think that's the way it is. And but you have to acknowledge how you're saying it. And that's why I think it's important that both people have a comfort to understand. I'm not going to hurt you. Right. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to offend you. But if I have an issue, I have to say it. Right. Or else we can't fix it. And so you can't take it in a defensive way, like even if it hurts your feelings. Like
right. And that's the thing about knowing not just
knowing each other,
not just knowing each other, but also knowing yourself.
Right.
Because if you're not a person who knows how you actually feel and who's in tune with yourself and your feelings and who can speak your mind and speak up for yourself, then you're never gonna do that with anybody.
Right.
Much less your partner who is living with, especially if you're living together, you have kids, like you can't escape that person.
Right.
Like if you're in a mood, they're gonna feel it.
Right.
You know, I was dating someone that whenever he got into a mood or a funk, he would get really quiet. He wouldn't talk to anyone, aka me. Right. And so I'd be in the house, and he'd just be like moping, like walking about the house, and I feel energy very deeply. So I'll be like, "What's wrong with you? Right. Like, ew, get out! Like you're killing my thing. Like I'll put music on, I'm dancing, and he's just sitting there like." I was like, wait, what's wrong? Yeah. And he couldn't communicate what was wrong with him or why he was
most
in the
men.
vibe.
Welcome to men's life.
Right. No, and that's true. And I've noticed that about a lot of men. Yeah. You know, I'm sure that has something to do with, you know, the way we're socialized. Men are taught to be strong.
No, I mean a man's life dealing with a woman. You don't know what you're feeling. Y'all just mad all the time. Like it's like, baby, what? I just bought you. We just had sex.
No, but yeah.
What?
But if you can communicate, you know, how you feel, and that is difficult because it does come with on both ends, like men learning to be more straightforward, like what Greg said about this is what's wrong, and then on the other side, women to be able to receive that information and not be, you know, so emotionally.
Yeah. I like to keep it sexually ambiguous. I think everybody should have that feeling, right? It shouldn't even be male, female. I know we were raised different. It's going to be centuries before we can kind of change that socialization piece. But everyone should be able to communicate. Everyone should take accountability.
Because on the flip side, there's a guy that I've seen that I was. Every time I say a guy, it seems like 1,000 guys. It's not that many guys.
Right. She out here. She be trying to play games. She got a bunch of friends.
I just don't feel like saying
you. Got what I need.
Okay.
But you say he's okay.
He is just friend. But what I was gonna say is that I can be very straightforward too. And there was a guy that I was being straightforward with, and he didn't know how to receive that without getting defensive and things. So yeah, it's just to say.
Do you take any accountability for that? Like as far as like how straightforward can you be? Like because I'm pretty straightforward, but I also like I've had you say things to me straightforward. And it hurts a little bit, but I'm a grown man and I understand that you're speaking your mind. But I can see someone of a weaker nature feeling like, damn, I done fucked it up. She mad at me, you know. But it's like, how do you say it? Like, do you feel that from yourself?
I think it's also knowing the person, and I keep going back to that point because if I can see how someone, and that's how probably the person took it because we didn't know each other that well. Yeah. But if you take the time to get to know me, you'll know like I'm from New York. I grew up in a way that people speak very straightforward. Aggressive. And even as a dancer, as an artist, I was, you're training, you're like, no, you ain't, you whack, you whack until you're dope. That's it. Yeah. And you gotta keep going, figure it out until you come back.
That's gonna lose a lot of relationships.
No, but
that's harsh.
But it was like that's how I grew up, and even in my family, it was like just very like I would get a 98 on a math test. My dad would be like, "Well, why didn't you get 100? You were 2 points away. You could have got that 100."
You can't be that hard to men. You can't like. Listen,
no,
we are
but
weak
so
people.
it just led to for me. I'm very much that way. Right. And I take the emotion because I am a very emotional person. Mm-hmm. So being straightforward, like, hey, this is not where we need it to be, helps me like take out the emotion of it. However, on the flip side, I've learned that, especially being out here in LA, I'm not in New York, where New York, everyone kind of talks the same. Right. We all kind of speak the same language. Out here, you have people from different places, a little more sensitive. And so I've learned to kind of like try and navigate conversations a little bit better.
I just think it's, you know, it's a part, like we always say, knowing yourself and understanding yourself and just kind of knowing how you speak. Right. And I was teasing, like, obviously she doesn't say anything wrong, but it's very firm. And I can feel the difference in your mood. Yeah. And it's like, wait, why aren't you smiling though? Like, like, okay, no, all right, go ahead. Like,
right.
And but I can see that being a change because it's such a different you.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I asked, do you take accountability? Because it is a different you. It's like she goes from like sweet Kai to like, it's this, listen. Right.
I do.
Like, it's like the one little sweat. Ping.
But that's the only way I can do it without building resentment and to keep it what we say in New York, a stack. I got to keep it a stack with you. That way we can release this and you can tell me whatever you need to tell me, because I'm a receive whatever you tell me as well. And now we can move forward.
Yeah, I do it that way because I'm a goof, right? So I have to make sure, listen, this is serious. Right. I'm not joking right now. This is a serious thing. So we're running out of time here.
Wait, I have relationship boundaries. Real quick,
relationship boundaries.
Because it's important. We've just been talking crap the whole show.
No, we've been talking the whole show.
We didn't give nobody no information.
Right now.
I'm joking. Information. Relationship boundaries. And you can tell me if you guys agree with this or not.
Let me get my button ready.
Okay. Equal time.
No. Look, no, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
This is why I gotta be serious with this man. You see what I'm saying? I can't be cool. He trying to play me. Okay, I want everyone to know this. Okay, I don't know what happened in this episode. He's right. Okay, equal time doing what the other loves.
Facts.
Right? So time together should not be dominated by one person's pastime preference. Time together should enrich, satisfy both partners. Do we all agree on this?
We agree on that.
We agree. Yes.
Can I add to it a question to everybody? What if there are no activities?
Y'all boring as hell.
Because I'm not saying this is my relationship, but I've been in relationships. No, I'm kidding. No, this is not about my relationship, but I've been in relationships where it's kind of what do you want to do? I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do, and then you end up kind of doing nothing.
Right, just Netflix and chilling,
which could be fine, but I'm just saying, is that wrong? If you're both comfortable with that, do you think that would be a problem?
I think going with what they're saying, it's as long as both people are enjoying it. But if I like to go outside and you like to stay inside, then we gotta manage that.
We'll go with that.
Okay. The next one is forward emotional momentum. The intimacy and sharing escalates steadily over time. Both partners share in the gradual escalation of the relationship and enjoy increasing seriousness, and it's not stagnant.
You set that up. You ain't get that nowhere. She just wants to say get to know the people before you have sex.
No, or just the steps you get, Yeah, but then that's a question, because then once you're married with the kids, it's it takes creativity to all right, what else? What else are we gonna do?
I look at it because my steps, I'm open and ready to go. Some people you have to kind of slowly let's talk about your family. Then you talk about your exes maybe, and then you can kind of talk about past pains and traumas. And some people have to go there. I'm first day, I'm ready. What you want to talk about? Uh-huh. So I think. Is that what it's saying? Do you, take it from,
I think it's also the going from dating, then we're in a relationship, then we're engaged, and now we're married, and now we're having children, and having these goals. And it's my question to that is, well, once you've achieved the marriage and the kids and the house,
it's creativity.
What else is there to do? You know what I mean?
But it does become a partnership. It becomes a life partner, especially after marriage. And you have to kind of know each other, and you have to help each other. You have to, pull each other up. If I see you kind of even when I was kind of teasing Greg, I can see when Anna is getting in a mood based on something that she is doing. Right. But I can't exactly say you doing this, but I want to try to figure out a way to help her out of it.
Right.
And sometimes that's where the challenge is how do I help my partner through their shit. Right. And that's where it becomes a team effort. And, I just think you have to be open about it. What's that? What else we got?
Next one says, both care about the other's experience. So both partners should be asking how to make the other happy. If you are the only one asking how to make your partner happy, you may be in a one-sided relationship.
I think that's factual.
Yes. Okay. We got head nods in the audience. Both facilitate the other's growth. You cannot be the only partner concerned with the other's growth. We can't grow within relationships focused on saving people.
Facts.
Ooh, have you ever been in a relationship where you were saving someone?
All the time. So that was my last relationship. And it started off where I was just kind of the big brother, protector guy, right? And then it turned into a relationship. And but then here's the pitfall on that is then it got to a point where it was you're treating me like you're my dad. And it's but you're acting like my daughter. Turned. But it's but you're acting like my daughter.
Right.
So it's you can't be mad at me for giving me what you want.
Right.
If you want to come to me and, this is so bad. And it's no, you want to just hear it. I know you just want to hear and chat and hug and, not talk about anything. I know that's what women want. But at some point, it's we need to move forward. Right. not every day is the worst day of your life. What do you want me to do with that?
Yeah.
Like, I have to then make you better, and then you give me credit for it and you love me for it. But then it's like, but you treat me like I'm your daughter. It's like, well, you acting like I don't trust your decisions. Like,
right. I used to do that. I can't front. I used to emotionally dump on my partner.
Right.
Meaning my boyfriend was like, you're my best friend. So I'm going to tell you everything that happened today. I'm going to tell you all the bad things. And you remember, and I'm just giving you all this negative energy. And it wasn't until, like one of my last relationships where I realized what I was doing. Yeah. And I was like, I guess my partner can't be my everything.
Yeah.
That's why my relationships with my female friends are so important, to be able to spread the negativity out evenly and be able to talk to different people about different things.
We're out of time, but I'm going to ask you one question on that is, do you feel like your great girl friendships are affecting your relationship? Right? Because right now you have such a good, solid group of friends.
I do. Shout out to my girl.
That it's almost like, do you even have anything for a man in a sense? Like,
oh yeah, yes.
You're like, I got all kind of negativity.
Yeah, no, oh,
but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because you're comfortable in your relationship, and it's like that intimacy and that compassion that you have for your friendships. Mm-hmm. It kind of can take away from your relationship.
I don't think so. I think what it has done for me is giving me a solid foundation, so that the first guy that comes in my way is not the guy. I'm not jumping on the first relationship possibility that I can have. Right. It's allowing me to make healthy choices and allowing me to choose a partner that is a healthy relationship for me. Because I have my homegirls, and I have friends that are getting into relationships, and I don't see them as much anymore, and that's fine. Because we've established this relationship rapport where we can talk about, like, girl, you gossip and you do, and I'll do all that with my girlfriends, and I'll still do that with my guy too.
Yeah, a little bit. Because I'm a girl's guy. I don't know, whatever. I like to have those conversations too. So even though, like, I don't want you to dump all your stuff on me, I'm okay if you want to bring me in on those conversations. So anyway, we're out of time. We always run out of time on relationships. We still didn't really get to real quick. When is it time to get out?
Man.
2 seconds.
Yes, when you're feeling more stressed than you are happy.
Factual.
More peace.
I would say when you're not growing anymore.
Ooh, good one.
When you feel like you're just stagnant, you're not growing, you can't motivate them.
But will you have periods of that though?
You will, but you'll know that within a couple of weeks or a month. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say. I would say, like,
He's
when you
reneged on his answer.
Yeah, but because when you think about the timeline, you do have to give it time. You do have to work. But when you find that you're not growing, you can't help them. You can't motivate them. You can't communicate with them, and it feels like it's always some kind of pushback. You're having the same fights, but no resolution. That's when it's time to, like, all right, we're not growing. We're not getting out of this. It's gonna get worse.
Nick, Greg, what do y'all say?
When is it time to get out?
Time to get out.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. We nailed it.
Right.
Nick said we nailed it. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for your comments. Appreciate Greg and Nick for being in the building.
Amen.
And commenting at the same time.
Right.
And eating and not offering us anything. So we're going to let them slide on it. They brought us t-shirts and hats. Right. So and it's TR Creations, right? What's your website? TNRcreations.com. Check them out.
Wait, do we have
Yeah, they just gave me a hat. Give me a hat or something.
Yes.
They all.
No, we gotta get it. Where's it at?
Y'all moving slow. I know. We ain't going nowhere
on for this because we gotta get the small business shout out. Right. We haven't been doing this for a while, guys.
So check them out. They do hats. They got t-shirts. They do everything. Right. You guys just do graphics on things. Yeah. Personalized gifts. There it is. I was looking for that tag. So check them out. I want to put it on. Yeah, TNRcreations.com. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. And we out this thing.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, and I think our video's coming.